Hey guys, Tiffany Ofili Porter here, where I discuss all things life after sport. As you can see, we have a different ambiance today. I am in a hotel. We are in Nebraska, a suburb of Omaha. And guess what I'm about to do, y'all? Guess. I'm about to buy a new car. My family and I traveled from Kansas City to Omaha for a purchase of a new vehicle. I don't know when this video is going live, but I'm going to go into details later on about why we're getting a new vehicle. But yeah, we're really excited. So I'm going to bring you guys along for the ride. We drove down last night after my husband got off of work. We slept. We are about to go eat breakfast, start our day. It is 8:09. The dealership opens at 9 o'clock. So we're going to be the first ones there. I'll kind of give a little bit of backstory as to why I chose this vehicle, why we drove 2 hours and 45 minutes for this particular car as the video progresses. So if this sounds interesting, make sure you keep on tuning in to this vlog.
Balancing motherhood with medals on her chest. She's proven her greatness, knows no rest. Representing her countries with pride she stands.
Maybe you take it for your mommy trip back.
JP, getting ready for breakfast? Yeah, you can. JJ, no touching. No touching. Ooh, lemon waffle flavor.
Wow.
The potatoes look good, don't they, Chi? Yeah. Ooh, frittatas. Chi, that's not going to be very yummy. It's just regular Rice Krispies. JP, you ready to eat?
I am.
Yes. This is my plate. This is Chi-Chi's plate. And this is JJ's plate.
Delicious.
Bon appetit. Actually, should I say plates? Because I'm real hungry today. Guys, so we are in the car, left the hotel. We are heading to the dealership. I got my chauffeur here. JP, say what up, though? How do you feel about purchasing this car?
Should be an adventure today.
An adventure, indeed. So the main reason why we actually stayed in the hotel was to, number one, break up the drive. 2 hours and 40 minutes is not a lot, but sometimes with kids it can get a little finicky. So we decided to break it up. And also I have an event in Kansas City. Yeah, JJ, say what up, though? We got Chi-Chi back there. I have an event in Kansas City at 3 o'clock, so I didn't want to potentially run late to that event. JJ is obviously excited about this car too, you guys. So that's the reason why we are here first thing in the morning. We will be the first people at the dealership, and I'm excited because we have both of the kids. My husband and I decided it would be a little bit easier to test drive the car kind of individually. So while I'm test driving it, he'll be watching the kids and vice versa. That way we can both get a feel for it before we make this plunge. And then we'll kind of just go from there. I'm excited, but I don't get overly excited about anything until it's like in hand and it's a sealed, done, deal. Just because you never know. You might get here and it might drive crazy. It might, you just never know. So, and by the way, I'm buying the car pre-owned. I can go into detail kind of on my opinions about that later on. So when you're purchasing a used vehicle, sometimes the approach can be slightly different than when you are purchasing a brand new one. I've done both before in the past. They have their pros, they have their cons. Again, I'll go into that later. So let's just go and get this party started. This is the vehicle that I'm thinking about purchasing. I'm excited to test drive it. See how it rolls, guys. I am in the car with my friend Wilbur here.
Hi,
He works here at the dealership. And this is what the car's looking like from the back. I really needed that third row, like I mentioned, and it's spacious. Let me show you what this right here is. Pretty cool. And yeah, I'm gonna go test drive it. Let's go. All right, so we are test driving this thing. Did a little loop on the freeway. And now we're gonna do a little bit of city driving. Getting a good feel for it.
How's it driving so far?
So far, so good. I'm liking what I'm feeling. It does handle pretty well.
Not this left, but the one after it.
Okay. Yeah, the drive feels pretty similar to my current truck. It's a bigger car, but it doesn't necessarily feel that way, which I appreciate.
Got some nice curves right here, so see how it handles.
Yeah. Are we gonna get a chance to do a little bit of city driving on the other side?
It's pretty much a straight shot, but it's more like country.
How long have you been here in Nebraska?
Well, I moved here during the summer, so
Okay.
almost half a year.
Okay.
It's a straight road right here, so you can step on it. If you like.
I would like to see.
Feel the power over here.
Yeah. Picks up speed pretty quick. I like that. So am I turning left or right up here or just continue to go straight?
At the stop, turn left.
Okay.
And then it'll take you to that where the highway goes. And then another left and we'll be back at the
Okay.
Acknowledge that we went through it.
Oh, okay.
We went through it together.
Okay.
Right. And then lastly, seconds left. This is the Carfax.
Okay.
So I just need you to sign the front and the back. So it's to acknowledge that you got the Carfax. And then the final page. And then we'll stack. Down here. And then finally, the recall sheet. As you can see, there are no open recalls currently. So, yeah.
So sign this page too?
Yeah, it's just to acknowledge that we went over the recalls, but there's no recalls right now. So.
Okay.
Right, that should be it.
And do you need this paperwork?
Yes.
Do you need this too? Okay.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you. JP, say what up though. Chi Chi.
What up, though?
JJ, can you say hi?
What is this? Oh, this is stars.
At this point, we were just going over details and logistics of the purchase of the new vehicle. She was giving me information on extended warranties to consider for the future and just different details that would make my life simpler. One thing that they did offer was coverage on the tires and wheels for 1 year, which does give a lot of satisfaction. When you are buying a used car, sometimes you do need to take these things into consideration. So something to keep in mind. All in all, I will say that this was a very positive experience. So shout out to Koppel Cars in Nebraska for making this process easy and for making it enjoyable. I'm so excited about riding in the new car.
Make sure everything on here is correct as far as that vehicle goes. If everything looks good on there, I'm gonna have you sign right down there for me.
It says Nebraska driver's license. Is that okay?
Yep, that one's
Okay.
okay because we're gonna do a Kansas one as well.
Okay. Okay. Just one signature there, right?
Correct.
I'm so excited, you guys. If you can't tell, we got the new whip. Okay, we are home from Nebraska. I have purchased my car. It was an amazing experience. It was just, I'm so happy with the purchase. I'm going to go over a little bit, like I mentioned before, of questions like why we're buying this new car, why I buy used cars, just to kind of offer value for anybody who's been maybe considering getting a new car or just looking to do so in the future. So, number one, the main reason why at this particular time we needed a new car, because I have two vehicles currently and they're completely fine. They're awesome vehicles. I wasn't even on the radar for a new car, but I wanted one with a third row because I don't know when this video is going live, but we are expecting our third child. So I needed more space in my car, basically. The car that I had before was the Mercedes GLK. It's like a smaller SUV that I bought brand new, and I absolutely loved the car. It has great mileage, even low mileage now. And honestly, had we not gotten pregnant and started expecting our third child, I would have been very fine keeping that one. I also have a Porsche Panamera, which was very fine for 2 kids. Not going to be as practical for 3, but I'm not getting rid of that car because that's my play car. So that's the reason why I was in the market for a new vehicle. We have some time. I'm not actually due until the summertime, and we're kind of purchasing this back in the winter just because I started looking and I knew when I found what I wanted, I needed to go ahead and jump on top of that. So kind of going into the next question, why I buy used cars. I told you before that the GLK, I bought that brand new. And although I don't necessarily regret the decision, the car has served me well. You know, we've gotten such great use out of it and it's still in good condition. And kind of more on what I'm going to do with it now that we have this, I guess, technically 4th vehicle temporarily. But I buy used cars because, as we all know, or if you do not, cars are depreciating assets, okay? The minute you buy a brand new car and drive it off the lot, it loses its value. There are very few items in the world that depreciate as quickly as a car does. Now, I knew that when I bought my car brand new, but kind of when I weighed the pros and the cons, it just made a lot of sense. The difference between a brand new car and a used vehicle at that time was very low. The market was a little bit different. So I made that decision very fully understanding what I was getting myself into. Wasn't a bad decision, but now moving forward, I certainly do believe in letting somebody else eat up that depreciation. And the way that you can get a $100,000 car for $50,000, you know, maybe 5 years into it or 4 years into it, sometimes 3 years into it, is just mind blowing. So for me, it was more of a financial decision that just made the most sense for us. So we did drive to Nebraska to buy the car because when you are in the used car market, you have a little bit less flexibility in things like, you know, trims and colors and features because what's for sale is what's for sale. Now, when you're buying a car brand new, you can walk into the lot and say, excuse me, I want a cobalt blue Mercedes GLS and I want it with this trim. Go ahead and get it ordered for me and ship it to my house, and that's the end of the conversation. It's not like that when you have a used car because somebody might not be selling their blue car. They might only have white and silver on the market, and you kind of have to make do with what inventory is available at the time when you're looking for a car. So that's part of the reason why I started early. I knew that I wanted a very specific vehicle and I wanted a very specific vibe from my vehicle. So I wanted a car that is just a little bit unique in color. I knew I wanted the Mercedes GLS. I was kind of, which is the larger third row. It's the largest SUV that Mercedes makes. This would be my third Mercedes, so I just kind of am a little bit brand loyal now, if I'm being honest, and I just love the way that they move. I love their innovation. I'm just a fan of Mercedes. Now, it's not the only car that I could buy. I looked at several other mid-sized SUVs and kind of landed on that one. I absolutely love the Escalade. My husband has a Lincoln Navigator, so I love the idea of large size SUVs, but for me and my everyday and for kind of just my driving preferences, I didn't want a large size SUV. So I wanted like a mid-sized SUV. So I was between that one. I looked at the BMW X7. I looked at like the Infiniti Q6 was too small. I looked at the Cadillac XT6, too small for what I needed. I looked at the Lincoln Aviator. Again, I wanted something a little bit bigger, and when I just kind of did a little bit of research, the GLS just made the most sense for me. Now, when I talk about vibe, I wanted it to be vibrant. As you can see, I ended up getting a red car. And any Deltas out there, don't give me a hard time. My girlfriends have already started messing with me. I am an AKA through and through. And if they made pink Mercedes GLSs, I would have gotten a pink one. But essentially, I knew I wanted it to be a little bit unique. My GLK, my previous car was black, so I definitely did not want black. That kind of, limited the inventory that I could choose from because I wanted it to just feel like a very different car, even though it's kind of similar in some aspects, but it is a different vehicle. So I wanted the color to also reflect that. So that's part of the reason why I drove to Nebraska. I found the color, the low mileage, the, price within my budget that just made the most sense. And although there were a couple of vehicles closer that could have worked, I didn't want a silver car. I didn't want a white car. I didn't want a black car. There was a blue one I was looking at in St. Louis. And had this red one not worked out, I would have gotten the blue one. That one was also very beautiful. And then there was a greenish color one, but when the guy at the dealership, and this was in Chicago, I was willing to fly to Chicago and drive 8 hours back just to get a specific color of car. And that's what I mean about having to be a little bit flexible when you're looking for a used car. So that one I didn't really move on because once he sent me the photos, it was it was darker than I wanted. It looked almost like black with a greenish tint versus like a vibrant green that I would have preferred. So again, I was a little bit selective, but I did feel because of my flexibility and the time that we have to kind of get the purchase done, that I had the ability to do so. So that's why I chose the color. I wanted it to be vibrant. I wanted it to scream, okay, Tiffany, when you saw the car, just to kind of scream my name. My Panamera is like a chocolatey brown, which I just love that color. It's unique. Again, very similar to my personality. I like to be a little bit different. So that was why we made the commute. And honestly, it was 2 hours and 45 minutes and it was worth every second of it. I would do it over again, time and time again. So anybody looking for a car out there and you're in the used car market, don't limit yourself to proximity. First of all, I saved myself about $4K and got the color that I wanted and got lower mileage compared to some of the cars here in the Kansas City metropolitan area just by being okay in driving to Nebraska. Yes, we had to go a night before and stay in a hotel and all that stuff, but ultimately it was worth it in the end. And I did not, hey buddy, my son is awake. He was napping downstairs. Hold on one second. Let me grab my little man. Hi, baby. Hi, JJ. Can you say hi? Okay, last question. I did not trade in my previous car. Like I mentioned, it was in such good condition. We talked about cars being depreciating assets, and I knew that I got great use out of it, so I'm not sad about purchasing that vehicle. But the amount of money that they wanted to give me to trade in that vehicle to me was just not worth it. And I'm going to actually gift that car to my mom. And she's so excited about it. She's been in the market for a new car. It just happened to be the perfect timing. The car is in amazing condition. Again, other than the fact that I needed that third row, I would never have gotten rid of that car anytime soon. I'm one of those people who does not need a new car every 2 to 3 years. I will drive my car until the wheels fall off, quite literally. So that is what I'm doing with it. I have to find a time down. Either me, I haven't decided yet, or my husband are going to drive down to Michigan, give my mom the car, spend some time with my parents, and then fly back. So technically right now we have 4 vehicles. I will be getting rid of that 4th one soon. And that's a little bit about our story. So let me know down in the comments if you're in the market for a vehicle or if you just found this, journey to buying a car for me, interesting. And I would love to chat with you down in the comments. Thank you for tuning in and I will catch you guys on the next video. Can you say bye?
Bye.
Bye.